Hey everyone, Miacidae here. Welcome back to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. So in the last episode we kind of more or less got to Darganas, which was the capital world for the Von Valencia stuff, and while there, we got a lot of side quests both done and more of them placed on us that brought us off-world of Darganas. One of them was doing some bureaucracy stuff for J, which we got done, but that took the majority of the episode. The one that has us off planet now on Thassera, which was one of those golden word planets that we found while exploring, which is a feudal world, believe it or not, which is kind of weird. So it's like a medieval world that they don't seem to have anything outside of like horses, guns, swords. I'm not really sure what the deal is here, considering we're in the 40,000th century or 41st century. They didn't send enough of a tithe, so Solomor needed to come here, so that's why we're here. I think there's like one other quest that they wanted us to go do, so we're investigating them. And at the when we got here, there was a whole procession, blah blah blah, and they sent this person Maeve to kind of more or less spy on us, but she's also showing us around. So there's supposed to be an execution going on. So that's the first part we're supposed to go kind of investigate while things are going on. But let's kind of take a look around and see what happens. Chronicle of Fate by Gorgias Fault. It befits any servant of his to thank daily the Emperor. Him holdeth the key for the lot given to him in life, as I have thanked him for my writing and thousands of moon lives. So too do I thank him now, for the fetters are preparing my soul for its new destiny. The rulers of this service are simple. Day after day I reverently carry with me glass fetters, daring not to break them. Some believe that merely keeping them by one's bedside is enough to perform the sacrament. That is a lie perpetrated by the slothful and the faint of heart. Okay. Wondering if there's like anyone named that I can talk to here, but it doesn't look like it. Can we go up here? Aha. Nah, Abelard, just stop there for now. Get the goods. There's cargo. Some more writing right here. Chapter 3. Sacrament has been performed. I feel the cage open. Escape. I felt him that holdeth the key open the lock to my body. At first I found it hard to breathe. It was though inside of my body was lined with vice that was not my own. Yeah, that was some very weird writing of holy stuff. So there are computers here. I was just going to say there's a cognitor here. Gray-haired nobleman, O celestial lord, grace us with your regard. When my brother and I heard of your arrival, we immediately sought to surprise you with an exceptional gift. The ancient scrolls tell of a wonder, a mechanical sage by the name of Kogikor. It knows of the answers of all questions, can make other machines do its bidding, and may even predict the future. My brother and I have borne many a hardship, but we managed to acquire the magic contraption for our much-cherished guest. The box in front of you, presumably the Kogikor they speak of, exudes a strong odor of ritual oils made of thin planks. It is covered in so many purity seals that it seems to be held together by them alone. The stack of flimsily rough paper lies atop, and there is a mica panel with malachite buttons attached to the front. A thin slit is visible among the buttons. Abelard sighs heavily and leans over you. Sometimes when information reaches the more backwards worlds, it undergoes strange metamorphoses. In the minds of those unfortunate and regrettable lay people. Have mercy, Lord Captain. They probably have been trying to please you. After a chronoturn of heavy silence, Pascal finally intones, I am registering an act of imitation of sanctity. The cultural phenomenon is typical of underdeveloped tribes. I also anticipate the discovery of cave pictograms dedicated to the divine arrival of more advanced units. So listen to the sounds coming from the box. There is barely an audible breathing coming from the box. Whoever is inside very much wanted not to be noticed. Galado stalks the box and bares his fangs, while Solomon frowns grimly at the device. Really? Then again, what else could you expect from this ignorant world? There's something else I wish to ask this Cogitor. If I may advise, Celestial Lord, in order to receive an answer, one should take a piece of paper and slide it inside the holes here. Then touch the stone and ask the question loud and clearly. Logic test succeeded. Cogitor, answer only yes or no. Is your next answer going to be no? The miraculous device reluctantly accepts the offered paper and makes a vague moan-like sound. After a languid moment of waiting, you're presented with a sheet that reads error, which most likely means error. Cogitor, what is the punishment for liars and frauds? The box holds paper for a long time. Then the sheets finally emerge from the slot. It is visibly shaking. You see the words immolation. Please don't. Solomon folds his arm and leads towards the slot, his voice ringing with steel. Machines can't feel fear, Cogitor. They can only meekly accept their fate. The proctor catches your gaze and shrugs. I couldn't help myself. Oh, that is so mean. That's enough for now. As you wish, do not hesitate to pose more questions. It has enough ink for many more. What a rare and magnificent gift. I will be honored to display it in my chambers. Our hearts flutter at the opportunity to please the Celestial Lord. May this sagacious machine assist you in your endeavors. I'm getting the poor sod out of there. I'm getting the poor sod out of there. Oh, Lord Imperium on horses. Can we figure out why they actually use the horses?
Favors me today.
The horses glance at you with an odd curiosity. One of them pulls its muzzle closer and clacks its teeth almost too greedily and hungrily for a harmless herbivore. Oh, I was kind of hoping to figure out why, but okay.
The world will bow.
Why do I have a ballistic skill here?
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
Why do I have a ballistic skill here? The blacksmith has somehow managed to forge shells and casings. These do not belong on a feudal world, but there is no doubt as to what they are. Okay. What is this? Oh, Glado. I've not seen that sign, so he could pull out the case for me. Bloody Sacrament, one-handed light melee weapon. Area attacks with this small create a smoke cloud. All creatures that enter the area must pass toughness, strength, and willpower resistance test with a -37 penalty. Excuse me, what? On a failed toughness test, target becomes blinded for 2 rounds. On a failed strength, becomes slowed. On a failed willpower, disturbed for 2 rounds. 15 to 19. You know, originally I wasn't going to have this man use shields, or melee weapons, but that works. The enormous gate is locked fast, okay. Oh, I can get down via this. There's a body right here. I would need Medicaid for it.
Assignment completed.
Judging by his attire, the man was of high social standing. Someone has carefully and skillfully peeled off his face. Well, that makes a lot of sense given the world. Oh, I don't have everyone else selected.
The Lex prevails.
Everyone go down there and meet up with him. So open the gate. Just for later.
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
Climb up here. So I can get to these goods. I'm really surprised at how into detail they went into this world. Imperium Shroud. Raven gains, so I don't have the Raven, but I might actually respec Idira into that now that I have all this
impossible for this old officer.
I tread a path.
Stuff for it, because that's I was going to, and then originally have her as that. You know, can I go over here and get this loot? But then I decided to put her as Executioner, which doesn't seem to be working out the greatest for her. Why is there a trap right here? Because I got rid of my one thing that had it. And I've gotten a few things with the Raven since then.
Never doubt me. The Emperor favors me today.
Claustrophobia for the Eagle, plus 10 perception, 150% more damage, gains 24% dodge against obstructed enemies' melee attacks. If the Cyber Eagle dodges the obstructed enemy's attacks, the enemy immediately hits a random adjacent ally using lowest AP attack, with scoring a guaranteed critical hit. An Ebonite Sword, primitive two-handed. Targets hit with the sword suffer a number of static charge stacks equal to damage dealt by the attack. When a creature with those stacks is killed, all creatures adjacent to it except the wielder suffer shock damage equal to number of stack charges. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Powers unseen.
There's a reason to finally use a two-handed weapon. There was a... This is probably chapter 1. Yeah. Chronicles of Fate by Gregorius Fault, so... Let these instructions enlighten all those who walk in my footsteps. He who holdeth the key permits none but his most faithful to change their fates. So we technically got a key. So I'm wondering if this means anything. But I'm not seeing anything, like, too important. Ooh, goods right here. Tech use that and easily open it.
Operation.
Just cargo. Okay. It looks like this might be a lift down, but we can't use it as of right now. We have to go all the way around and see everything, which is kind of cool. I'm still not seeing anyone too important.
Let's seize the opportunity.
Goods with the stall owner. It's kind of sad that we can just take from the stall owner, but eh. Is this like a eatery?
As a child,
Tiny lights are hopping around the gilded plate.
World urban too. Knights clad in shining armor riding their fine steeds, battling enemies of humanity, and holding feasts after their victories. But this world has only grey and mud.
Yep.
The same is true for many worlds in the Imperium, Lady Cassia. You should accustom yourself to that fact.
Oh, cyber lyrics. So these are things I fought on Janus. Tiny lice are hopping around the gilded plate. The lady squashes the insects with a small golden hammer, only for more of them to drop from her coiffed hair into the food. Ew. Rotten mutant, sullen mutant. So I'm guessing they're what's gonna open that later. Oh, saving. Yay. What the hell is that? Tadua the Scorch. You see a man with a cruel grimace on his face and hands disfigured by burn marks. Behind him stands a ghastly-looking mechanism adorned with polished skulls of gigantic proportions. The eye sockets, their edges melted, gaze darkly into the crowd with the promise of inevitable punishment. The man, clearly the executioner, bows his head. The very messengers of the sky have come to decide our fate. We are honored, Your Highness. So, what's the structure? This instrument of punishment is personification of the great Thesmophoreus the Martyred, who accomplished the legendary feat of slaying 300 heretics. As is glorious tradition, all mutants who affront the Emperor's gaze with disdain of the face of Thassera must enter the Saint's iron embrace. Whenever justice is served, hundreds flock to the Thesmorpheus, eager to witness the magnificent spectacle. You have just confessed that your semblance of justice serves not as a demonstration of lawful authority and deterrence to your subjects, but as entertainment. Solomon utters last word with disgust, as if there's no fouler profanity. And who is inside right now? Another heretic who violated the laws of Holy Thassera, and since his body's already turning to ash, such will be the fate of his name, as well scattered to the worlds, that may never defile the lips of any who live upon our sacred worlds. Never again defile the lips. Maeve looks ready to faint. She seems both terrified and nauseated by the sacred rite that has drawn so many onlookers. The laws of the Imperium punish those who deserve it. Was that the last of the accused for the day? That was but one of the first bodies set to stoke the Thesmorpheus. It is going to get a lot busier now. As if to confirm the man's words, fire-breathing saint expels a puff of acrid smoke. While the guilty are being reduced to ashes, let's meet the next participants in our performance. And they just walk up. Two people, or something resembling people, are pushed onto the stage. They are mutants, hideous parodies of humanity's forever tainted by the imperfection of flesh. One of them is dressed in stained yet expensive clothes. The other wears tattered uniform of the local guards. Your Celestial Highness, behold, two loathsome heretics who blemish the face of Thassera with their very existence. He chuckles, but his sneer is completely devoid of mirth. The degree of their guilt may vary, but both deserve to enter the blazing bowls for the worst of their transgressions, distorting the sacred face of humanity. But since fate has graced us with such lofty visitors, I eagerly cede the right to punish these miscreants to you, Your Celestial Highness. Contrary to his honeyed words, the executioner's voice betrayed his poorly conceited displeasure. Oh, I'm gonna throw this guy in there instead. Cassia purses her lips when she notices the onlookers staring at her hands, eyes, and neck. Many point their fingers shamelessly in her direction, the others spit at her feet in disgust. Her chin raised high, the Lady Navigator adjusts her forehead adornment with her clawed hands. She squares her shoulders and lets out a breath and glares at the crowd with condescension. What do you mean by the degree of their guilt may vary? One of them, despite being one of the highest lords of Thassera, spat on our world's custom by refusing to alter his destiny. The other did change his fate, even though he was just a lowborn wallowing in the mud. What in the Lux's name did I just hear? Solomon raises his voice slightly, indicating that the unusual impassive arbiter is profoundly indignant. I normally have no trouble passing judgment, but in this case I don't even know where to start. What did the one in the guard's uniform do? A thief, a brigand, a murderer. There's no way to list all the crimes laying at this freak's conscience. However, his willingness to change his destiny against all odds merits the mutants at least some honor. Despite his feeble-mindedness and simplicity, he had enough sense to obscure his countenance with hoods and helmets until he made his way from beggar to guard. It was not long before his excessive passion for fighting and stabbing gave him away. The mutant utters a foul curse under his breath and then immediately gives you a frightened look and falls silent. The mere sight of the Celestial Lord seems to instill a reverent awe in the common denizens of Thassera. You seemed to praise the low-born mutant despite the vicious act he committed. They were both mutants and thereby violated his law, And yet, when one finds a spark of nobility in an abject commoner, one cannot help but feel a gain of respect for them. This heretic may be of low birth, but he does not flout the values of Thassera the way the nobleman does, and thus honors our traditions and his will. Born into the rabble, he applied all of his abilities and skills, defied the restraints placed upon him, and crushed those who stood in his path, all in order to forge a new destiny for himself. Forge a new destiny. Even you, a degenerate, should know that the man bound to serve the God Emperor's plan from birth, and that any attempt to change that is a violation of his will. And what about the opulently dressed mutant? Rotten stain upon the noble's families. He was hiding in his manner to conceal his deformities, but he had trouble keeping his mouth shut. He spread corruption among the minds of quarters, cast aspirations of the traditions of the world, was insolent, swore profanely. Luckily, he had no heirs, and today the accursed bloodline shall be put to rest once and for all. Rich, garbled mutant moans something. You notice stitches on his disfigured face. The zealot servants were evidently in a hurry to silence the condemned man early and sewed his mouth shut. What monstrous cruelty to sew a man's mouth shut. Take those stitches out immediately. Eager to please you, he carries out the order, but his work is far from gentle. The condemned man's groan chokes in pain as the executioner pulls threads from flesh. Thank you. Mouth oozing with blood, the mutant is unlikely to say more. Well, I'm ready to make my decision. The word of a distinguished guest is law. We're all trembling with his anticipation. Maeve seems to have reined in the emotions were overtaking her, and she casts a timid glance at, I want to burn the guy burning them. Let them both go. The excitement in his eyes fades away. A merciful decision, Your Highness. Savor the gift of freedom bestowed on us by the holder of the key to all destinies and by his messenger. Begone, you disgusting spawn. Oh, what clamor! I'll wager they heard the sound of the poor slaughterman's heart breaking all the way to the other end of Thassera. And now my favorite word. Next. A pale, bony creature, barely able to move its legs, enters the stage. In place of a mask, it turns up to a horrific melody of features towards the world. This ugliness, however, is nothing like the previous convicts. The thin, squeamish, twisted mouth is fused to the cheekbones. Malicious eyes peer into the crowd from under hideous folds of flesh. The face of this heretic appears to have melted and congealed. And what happened to his face? Is he another mutant? Thasserian fever. You need not worry, Your Celestial Highness. It is not contagious. So what is he guilty of? His crime is more grievous than any of the scaffold has ever seen. He was granted a new destiny, but chose to defy it. He turned away from the greatest gift that can be offered to the loyal sons and daughters of Thassera. Shut up. Shut up before it gets in. I won't give up. I won't give up. I won't. Oh, no, no, no. We didn't come here for you to stay quiet. Squeal now. Squeal even louder. Where's the blasted court fool? You glance at the crowd and suddenly see the fool prancing and fiddling in the gawkers, clearly trying not to be spotted by you. Yeah, Solomon, time to teach the gathering a lesson. Without uttering a word, the Arbiter draws his weapon and shot bluff. A shot rings out, and a deafening shriek rises from the throng of people. You catch sight of a badly wounded fool disappearing into the crowd. Bluff takes 28 damage. Maeve cries out in horror and immediately clasps her mouth with both hands, trying to lock her voice inside. Enough. Deaths. Let him go. As Thuda opens his mouth to say something, the convict takes a step on his clumsy, spindly legs, and then another one. The face. The face. Pretty, strong, shining, and a gnarled claw points directly at you. Give it here. Give it to me now instead of the one I bear. Take mine. It's not mine. Take it. Take it. Oh! The madman raises his crooked finger to his face and sinks his nails into its sagging flesh. Shrieking with what sounds like relief, he tears off a piece of his cheek, and then another, And then one more. Falling to his knees, he frantically scratches his own eyes out, smearing blood and clear ichor across his face before collapsing on the platform. A sudden rumble draws your attention like a rockfall tumbling down a slope. The thud of feet, mad screams overwhelm you. After a moment, you see the source of the commotion. A throng of mutants is charging straight at me. Yeah, they're pissed. Well, I'm glad they got him. But that caused all of them to want to run. Hey, that's the guy I let go free.
Resistance is naught but ashes.
The Emperor is with us!
So the knights are gonna be a front line for us, huh? Solomorn can go there and maybe shoot up. What is going on with these guys? Probably the fever, and then bloating with Thassera. The creature's body is about to burst. It runs to the target and blows up, dealing warp damage. Okay. Hey, RG, I'm gonna need you over here. And then we'll put you here as well, and then the rogue trader can help on this side. So what we're gonna want to do is make these guys take as much damage as possible.
If I may.
Then I'm gonna kill zone them. Let's do the voice of command, air of authority on RG.
Me. If you insist, Lord Captain.
And then bring it down on her. Then she can Furious Recital. We are going to do Confident Approach for the guaranteed crit. I'm pretty sure we can one-hit the mutant right here, who's glowing.
As the Emperor commands.
As run and gun moving up. And then we can kick this mutant. Getting them out of the way. Before we burst over here. And just hit what we can down.
This is why I was chosen.
And then we can do Firearm Mastery.
In the will of the righteous.
And just taking down what we can. So let's take down the little guys here first.
Faith without deeds is
I'm gonna take out this big glowing guy, because I think he has... Ability invigorates 5 random mutants in the thing in the combat, raising characteristic for 2 rounds, so okay. And then he's probably going to, when he dies, yeah, he explodes when he dies, so I want to take this guy out.
my Emperor.
But I guess it's the chant that's making them get extra characteristics, and that's what's glowing. Okay. Not sure what's doing the chant though. Mutant Nobleman,
As the Emperor commands, I
because he's almost down.
faith without deeds is worthless.
Then Sullen Mutant
As
right
the
here.
Emperor commands, I my Emperor. I'll do it.
I mean, laughing while she does that. She's kind of a crazy lady. Knights can go forward. No, you're just gonna put up the shield so they can't get to the normal people. Okay. Okay, RG.
I
Run up to him.
bathe this battlefield in righteous fury.
Kick
As
him.
The Emperor commands, I act.
Gonna run over here. We're going to do Revel and Slaughter. We're going to do Concentrated Fire,
That is for the
so we do more damage. We're going to hit these 3. I guess these 2.
I'll do it.
I can then do an extra attack with steady superiority.
Will made manifest.
Just hit the sullen mutant down here.
Without deeds is eradicated. I'll do it.
Wildfire, so I can hit the mutant down here.
As the
10 shots at him should take him out. And that should be that.
This way! Protect me!
Well, they went kaboom, alright. Hey, Solomorn. Get Glado. Actually, what can we hit? Can't hit both of them. But if I go right here... never mind. Glato. We're going to apprehend that sullen mutant, but I'm first going to do move or run, so he does more damage getting there. Bite him.
Test our skills, Glato.
Oh, we didn't get there. So we didn't bite. Apprehend. Got parried. Burn him.
It won't take long.
Glado bites. Or claws, rather. I can do
Done.
Grizzly Education, making him bleed. Now he'll bleed and burn down with that damage from Glato. And then we can run and gun. So I can get a little somewhere with Solomorn. And hit
I'll
these
take
two
it
with
as
that single shot.
traitor judges.
And that looks like what we can do.
I'll do what it takes.
blessed are those who sacrifice for the Imperium.
Well, those 3 just went down. Oh, I went down too.
Target eliminated.
So everything on that side's down. So we can go over here with Pascal. We're gonna do Plasma Overcharge for the area attack. I was wondering if we could hit like all these enemies, but only if we hit Glato. So we'll just hit these 2 with the area attack. And then we'll do blinding attack right here, which should take these 2 out, I think. And then if we do strafe from here. Oh, that's too far. Okay. Well, in that case, Trembling Mutant doesn't... They only have, I was thinking I could make them shoot each other, but I can't. We'll do Obstruct Vision here.
Setting target parameters for
Taking the Feeble Mutant out. Strafe. And then I can hit the Trembling Mutant.
this way.
Oh, he just threw it. I thought he was going to melee attack. No, he threw a fire grenade. And Abelard can hit this guy. I'm kind of surprised at how much he's been hurt.
Victory is imminent.
Endure. Roll of Rockcrete. And we're good. Incassia. Give him an extra turn. Put down the
The Senator's job.
thing there. I think we're good. Oh, there is a knight left on this side. Hey, Pascal, apprehend. Or, not Pascal, Solomorn. Have Glado apprehend. And have Pascal bite. Or, Glado bite. And that's it. Executioner got what he got. Your Celestial Highness, apologies for my late arrival. I wasted a great deal of time in idle squabbles with that oaf of a treasurer as he was looking for shipment chronicle. I only heard about the attack after it was already begun, and the elevator might have not been moving at all. It was so slow. The treasurer, the elevator, who are you going to blame next, Governor? Are you the ruler of this world or a casual onlooker? You will take measures immediately and restore order, or I will conclude that you were sabotaging the rogue trader's visit, either by intent or by simply due to your own ineptness. The governor babbles in fear. I never thought... The culprits, of course. The culprits face execution post-haste, my celestial lord. We'll survey the square. An oppressive silence hangs in the previously bustling plaza. The people are taking in the carnage, clearly avoiding looking at you, but still catching your every word. You notice Maeve standing nearby, gazing around her in horror in her eyes. Find those responsible and bring them to me. The condemned mutants broke loose and attacked the townsfolk. It's been a long time since anything like that happened, your Celestial Highness. They must have sniffed out today is a special day. The commander was responsible for guarding them. He got careless. I am Lucra, commander of the fortress. I can attest that the ungodly mutants were restrained properly. It is the Phasmormius, the smoke whipped the brutes into a frenzy. So it's either the commander or the executioner. So I'll make my decision now. My celestial lord, I swear on my life that my knights and I did everything we could to keep you safe. Who could have foreseen that the Phasmormius, after gorging itself on miscreants, would start driving the mutants mad with smoke? Lies. It does not taunt heretics, it fills them with terror. To shift the blame to your own failures on the sacred weapon of justice, a heinous crime in of itself. It's not a sacred weapon of justice. The executioner is to blame, I think. Solomorn? There is no change in Solomorn's expression as he performs the execution. Tada the Scorch expires without making a sound. You are our savior today, your celestial highness, and in gratitude please accept this personalized sword from my treasury. Fatebringer once decided the outcome of one of our feuds. It killed a rebel leader, and peace has reigned on the planet ever since. Can you really say that? Oh, attacks ignore armor. That's really good. I will lose Fatebringer. I need no note of Solomorn, make note of the attempted bribery. I need no attempts of your gift. That would be amazing, but no, I'm gonna take the sword. Well, thank you. Hey, Maeve, are you okay? Having dusted herself off and resumed a proper bearing, Maeve stares into this space. Despite the shock, her lips are pressed together firmly and her back is impeccably straight. Well, it appears the celebration is over, Governor. Not in the least. I will not let some beasts ruin everything we have worked so hard to prepare. I suggest we distance ourselves from this place and return to our corner of revelry and peace. By your leave, I will be waiting for you at the head table. Your God Emperor, give me strength. Swallowing noisily, the governor hurriedly departs from the scene of slaughter. He couldn't finish the sentence. It amazes me that the idiot just underpaid the tithe and did not somehow lose the whole planet as well. Fine, a feast it is. I'm sick of the stench of burnt meat. Let's try a change of scenery. Maeve. Her pace fail. Maeve raises a hand. My celestial lord, it's only a few steps away. The noble lords are already lifting their glasses in their savior's honor, awaiting your arrival. Shall we proceed? Is there anything on? Oh, I can't even loot the guy we executed. I thought he might have something. There's a cupbearer right there. This looks really important. All the metal right there, so that might be where they're getting really good steel. some goods right here that were hidden that Glado just got us. Radiant Shield. Whenever the wielder blocks an attack, the attacker must pass an agility resistance test or become blinded. That is... I don't think that's better than what Abelard has. Because I would rather get the temporary wounds. However, I would much rather have that than just one deflection, I think. And then because of how his stuff is, because he just gets the Shield Master quirk, or talent or whatever. So I have to have 2 shields on him if I want to have one for the melee as well. Now I can have the 1 deflection on him as one of the other things. Alright, what do we have here? I mean, they don't have a bad shield, and then it's 1 deflection, 8% more parry, on top of the fact that I get 22 block chance. Feudal swords aren't that great, though. I'm almost tempted to use their shields over what I have. I am going to take these goods. I should also probably get rid of those injuries. So, Abelard?
Your seneschal is always there for you. Let me help.
Just in time. Give us a target.
Anything over here? We can look around and there's a sculptor right here. I wonder if there's anything interesting on him. Because half of me says what they were doing in that Bernie thing wasn't just like whatever was in that Bernie thing or whatever the mutants were doing. Hey, buddy. The sculptor's mechanical hands crawl over the rough stone. Their many-jointed metal fingers remain in constant motion. Even now, you recognize your own features in the unfinished piece. Oh, it's about me. Cool. It seems someone commissioned a statue the moment you set foot on the planet. The old man turns his wrinkled face to you, and you see crystals where his eyes should be. Is my celestial lord here to gaze upon his destiny? Alas, my creation is not yet complete. What's the material you're working with? It's kind of cool stone. This is Thassera, a fascinating stone born of the bowels of the planet. Like any other kind, it bends and melts beneath the sculptor's tool. The sculpture comes to life in earnest. They must put their very soul in it. The soul, however, obtains calluses the more the sculptor works, and mine has long since become covered in scabs. You know, this is very correct. Your hand augments are most impressive. Such implants are impossible to come by in the feudal world. Where do you come by them? Lord Rudol had my limbs replaced before he took me from my home planet. It was very long ago, and I've since forgotten what my land is like to touch. The sculptor's mechanical arms are pierced by sticky tubes. The elbow joints have all but worn down. It must have been decades since the implants were last serviced. Such neglect often poses a serious threat to the person's life, and yet the old man's skin looks relatively healthy in spots where flesh meets metal. This man appears to belong to the variety of psychers, biomancers capable of recovering from otherwise deadly wounds and diseases. Oh, that's cool. Did you capture the governor's destiny in sculpture too? I have made thousands of sculpt statues for Voldo, but the Thalassa's stone flesh can never seem to state his great ambitions. So what has destiny got to do with the stone? When I sculpt, your celestial highness, I see people's destinies in the forms I create. The visions seem to come to me in shape not only stone, but the person's fate as well. Your image was indistinct when it appeared before me. My work is not yet done. What do you wish to behold? Why not the glorious deeds of my future? Your destiny will soon be complete, my lord. I will have it delivered to your star-faring vessel. And I gain the glory yet to come effect, duration permanent. Your life's path has been carved into stone. Images of your future deeds are distracting you from the here and now, but someday Those fantasies will become reality. Reduces fellowship until the end of the mission on Thassera. Okay. The old sculptor once more turns his unseeing gaze to the patterns on the stone before him. Maeve, bring me a cup of Amasec and make sure it's filled to the brim. An unexpected order from Solomorn. It'll be done. So he obviously wants to talk. I wanted to talk without the observer attached to us overhearing. Do you get this sense of what happening raises questions that lack coherent answers? Yes. Yes. I'm uneasy as well on account of unusual circumstances. Well, first of all, the governor barely manages to stay in his saddle, which was odd for a local nobleman. Not too odd considering his ravenous fondness for food and Amasec, but you'd think he could stay in his saddle nonetheless. The last mutant from the public execution, something was off about him, and it wasn't just a physical deformity. Mutation is a corruption that seldom leaves a person with sound mind, but the madman spouted on the scaffold what he had done to himself was beyond the pale. Something about and then the mutant attacked them without any clear cause or evident. The fact that there was a mutant attacked in the public execution with no clear or evident cause, that was very odd. The attack is unlikely to have been planned. It looked too messy, shall we say. On the other hand, perhaps that's the best this backwater planet can do when it comes to plotting and scheming. I don't know how true it is, but the governor's strange behavior. We're not wrong in particular. I'd like to note the governor is granting a preferential treatment to our attendant. Perhaps he needs her unconditional trust to ensure that she does something, or on the contrary, remains uninvolved just at the right moment. There's something odd about the local beliefs of altering the destiny, and there's something very odd there, I think. The God Emperor alone knows how many different cults of him there are. No two planets worship him the same way, but only a heretic would wax poetic about altering the fate that was ordained by the Emperor once and for all. And I really don't like the way the governor is using every means possible to stall the inquiry of the tithe. Indeed, at first one could mistake it for sycophantasy or an attempt to appease a celestial guest, but the longer it goes on, the more apparent the criminal intent behind all the stalling becomes. So the conclusion? I have a theory, but I would like to hear yours first, lest my opinions influence your reasoning. Well, we're either being led into a trap, or there's something that alters the human brain. 'Cause it's not just the mutants that were being weird, but remember, the governor's acting weird, the jester's acting weird, and that has something to it. So I'm gonna go with that one. There's something in the air that's causing people to act odd. Believe it or not, I have seen worlds like that. Colonies do not tend to last very long on them, so I cannot second your hypothesis. My hypothesis is that this is not about the tithe, that this is merely a pretext to keep us here long enough. But what for? We should play along for now, let them think we are taking the bait while we wait for an opportunity to seize control of the situation. For that, we need to agree on a signal to launch a coordinated attack. When I say lovely weather, we attack. Understood. Your Amasec, my lord. I haven't spilt a drop. Maeve returns, taking quick, careful steps along the paved road, a brimming goblet in her hands. Solomorn, without a word, the Arbiter hurls a drink on the pavement. The splash of Amasec is like a scarlet wound upon the stone that has been polished by 1,000 souls. So he just kind of threw it on the ground. Great. Thanks, bud. He thought it was poisoned, probably. So let's get all that.
I'm on lookout.
We can fix the lift. Oh, no.
Sins hidden in the heart.
Gods, the bane of an arbitrator's existence. At the end of every
We can fix the lifter here because we have Pascal.
Explorator is blessed with multifunctionality.
Tech use here with Pascal to get into this.
Successful.
Armor of Iron Will. Whenever the wearer blocks an attack, all adjacent creatures must pass a toughness test or suffer perplexed. Yeah. If it had higher armor, that might be nice. Some goods right here, then we can talk to Roldo. I think that was kind of it. I mean, there's more loot over there. Oh, those are knights. Never mind.
Embrace true power.
Is there something up with these? The tables are overflowing with rare and peculiar food. There's enough of it to easily feed dozens of hungry mouths, but the servants are unlikely to get even a morsel of the feast. Alright, so here we are, bud. The governor's hand reaches for the amasec, but flinches under your gaze and abruptly changes the trajectory of towards the appetizers. Today is a very nervous day, Your Celestial Highness, and when I feel nervous, I eat and drink and eat again. That's just the way I am, but Emperor have mercy, the food today is to die for. Would you like to have some? I recommend you try the fried acelodont, whose horns were still goring my hunters just the other day. And here we have some 5-tailed shrimperiuses, stewed in black-eyed sauce. The fellows need to be eaten quickly before they scurry off the plate. As for the side dishes, you simply must have a taste of these crispy, blab-eared shells seasoned with blue glut. The spice scorches your tongue, but follow it with some amasec and you'll feel like the waters of life itself. Well, athletics. Attack the giant Aslant ham. You sink your teeth in the greasy ham and slowly chew the brackish, fibrous meat with all your might. At the 7th bite, your jaw begins to ache, and you are forced to give up the fight. I gained the heavy stomach effect. Duration permanent. Reduces a character's strength and toughness in the next combat. This is a one-time penalty that disappears after the next combat ends. The leg of the Acelodont has gotten the better of you. You are so full that any careless movement will put you at risk of the meal fighting its way back out. Moderation is wisdom, and wisdom is the attribute of true sovereigns. To your most imperial prudence, Your Celestial Highness. Let's take the agility here. Vanquish the 5-tailed Shrimperius. Test failed. You arm yourself with a fork and pierce one of the Shrimperius' tails, much to the disappointment of your sympathetic audience. The creature leaves you with a discarded extremity and scurries off the table with 4 remaining ones, outmatched by the Shrimperius. The nimble Shrimperius has given you the slip, publicly casting doubt on your dexterity. Reduces the character's agility and perception in the next combat. One-time penalty. Do not be upset, Your Celestial Highness. One of those Shrimperius is still rampaging through my bowels. What naughty critters they are. Now that we've had some refreshments, let's talk. Verily, Your Celestial Highness. He reaches his ring-studded hand for the goblet, but stops at the sound of Maeve's voice. My lord, remember what the physician told you. Temperance is best cure for your ailments. I fear you've disobeyed his wishes again. And now I am paying with it with a compromised sense of balance and a regrettable inability to admire the disguised imposters. And the hunt is already in full swing. Uh-oh. Rogue Trader, once you've had your fill of the governor, let me ask him a few questions. What's this hunt you mentioned? Be a darling and tell our guests about our amusements. I am a little exhausted. Of course, my lord. The Imposter Hunt takes place every moonlight. Shortly before the event, the servants are thoroughly cleansed of dirt and foulness and combed and dressed in expensive clothing and masks, and invited to the court with the rest of the guests. The nobles hide their faces as well, and then try to guess who the imposters are. Telling one from the other is quite a challenge sometimes. And that is the best part. I highly recommend you try it, Your Royal Highness. It makes for a very interesting change of pace. And on this occasion, the privilege of branding, if you will, falls entirely on you, our honored celestial guest. So suppose I found all the imposters, what happens next? This is a data brand, one of our off-world treasures. We handle it with the greatest care, and yet all of Thassera's jewels and miracles cannot compare to the resplendence of your glory, my celestial lord. When you find an imposter, you only need to mark them with this wonderful brand. Analyzing, the brand is the propriety of the Idex Ventris Food Factory. Food Factory. It was used to mark meat of high-protein specimens of the planet fauna. The inscription of Proto-Gothic translates to Grox Grox Feed. At the end of the hunt, we hold a great feast. If you guess at least one of the imposters, you will also win a fine prize. If you guess all four, there will be an even more special reward. I remember at one of the hunts, a servant played the role of a baron so well that all the lords unanimously granted him favor and let him keep the title and privileges of the nobility. Such a thing rarely happens, but who knows what the evening will bring, for tonight it is you who will determine the worthy, my celestial lord. Did you just admit that there is masquerading rabble among the Thracian nobles? Did illiterate with no idea how to collect tithes? By the throne. That actually explains so much. Go ahead, Governor, commence your charade. The sooner we start, the sooner we finish. It shall be done, Master Judicator. So how does one find an imposter in the crowd? By the way they talk, their lack of restraint, unfamiliar delicacies overwhelm them so much that they lose control, and imposters are so scared of the responsibility that has fallen on their weak shoulders, they try and stay close to real nobles and imitate their rarefied manners. During the hunt, it is most worthwhile to pay attention to separate groups where their conversation has already started. A frightening imposter will probably try to hide behind other people's backs. That is all I know. So let's participate. Marvelous. As soon as you are done with your search, I will be... Governor attempts to rise from the table, but gravity proves to be his superior. Perhaps you should stay here, my lord? I feel you are right, Maeve. I'll be waiting right here, surrounded by savory dishes and plentiful amasec. Have a fruitful hunt, your celestial highness.
Powers unseen.
So... we're hunting for nobles. There's a group over here. A few nobles gathered around an older man in a fine jacket. His eyes dart back and forth between them. I come from an honored dynasty. You can't. He keeps trying to approach someone, but they all recoil from him as if he were a leper. Lady in a gold mask. The mob's instigator, a lady in a golden mask, exclaims furiously, "Oh, listen to the songs of this poor wretch. He thinks that the bath they gave him makes him look like a nobleman. Upon noticing you, the crowd parts. In a peevish voice, the woman draws, We ask that the celestial lord brand this peasant." Among the hushed crowd, you single out a woman in a half-mask and a gorgeous dress who is watching intently from the side. Do you truly believe him to be a commoner in disguise? Most certainly, your celestial highness. His plebeian nature is apparent to every self-respecting aristocrat. Logic succeeded. The woman is not lying, but neither is she being completely candid. The way she looks at the accused speaks of an old hatred and the one she knows to be the true enemy. The man is a noble, so why are you so intent on painting him otherwise? She clears her throat. There is not a word of a lie in what we said. This travesty of a nobleman was granted his privileges less than 100 years ago. A family of upstarts who have elevated themselves through pedalry. For any true-born noble, he is no different from masquerading peasant. Thassera has more common with Dargonus than I first thought, so explain what's going on here. Your celestial highness, we have exposed one of the imposters. There he is, the one in the jacket, still clinging to his facade. You ought to brand him quickly. My celestial lord, I'm begging to you, listen to me. This man is a member of a noble family. He is being slandered. So why are you standing up for him? I'm just a commoner in a fancy dress, my lord. The man is my master. I know I'm supposed to be playing the part of a rich girl, but I've served many lords, you see, and Sir Timius is the one who treats his servants with gentleness. I want to protect him from the cruel people. And look closely at the man. He's terrified. His hands are clutching an expensive cane bearing an intricate family of arms. And what can you say in your defense? Celestial Lord knows how ruthless court intrigues can be. My family started recently attaining a lofty status, and many here are opposed. Are you aware that your servant is trying to protect you? That's Renka, my house servant. What is she protecting me? Protecting me, you say? She has no idea what game she's got him mixed up in. Forgive me, my girl. Here she is, the real imposter. House girl Renka, she admitted herself to the Celestial Lord. How could you schemers even think of deceiving our supreme benefactor? Oh, which one was it technically? Finely dressed woman? I knew new intrigue could fool the Celestial Lord. The woman's face turns pale as a marble behind her half-mask. A seething look at the man in the jacket, then lowers her eyes, then, meanwhile, sighs with relief and says, "Thank you. I knew that no intrigue could fool the Celestial Lord." Blah, blah, blah. So 2 more groups. Gotta go way down here. I didn't expect this planet to last. I guess there's a lot going on here to get the tithe, but to, like, have so much in it. It should be like right here. Oh, the 2 priests. Okay. The 2 men are in clergy robes are bickering loudly. The older pair is eating out with great appetite while the younger one watches him in disgust. Your overindulgence is pure hypocrisy. A true servant of faith would have abstained. The old priest shoots his companion a glance over the plate. A true servant of the faith must keep his strength up so that he may offer the God Emperor not just words but deeds as well. Celestial Lord, how fortunate your arrival. One can only solve this conundrum and decide which of us is the true clergyman of noble birth and which is the arrogant imposter. So perception. Succeeded. You notice a marked difference between the 2 builds of the quarreling men. The older priest is gaunt, unlike that of his smooth-faced youth. The younger priest also has melodious voice of a singer, while the old man is clear and powerful. Okay, so the older man is overindulging and yet is gaunt, which is a big thing. I need to ask a few questions. They give it. Old priest gives a reserved nod. Meanwhile, the younger one turns his entire body to face you, like a student being evaluated. What awaits the servants after death? Should they serve faithfully, the Emperor will preserve their soul in his halls. It is customary on Thassera to believe in sacred reincarnation. Thus, the worthy may serve the Emperor for all eternity. You have encountered many variations of the God Emperor's cult in your time, but never have you heard of reincarnation after death. A religious teaching such as this seems strange and exotic, even for a nondescript, half-forgotten planet like Thassera. Okay. By what names are warriors born from the blood of the Emperor's sons known? Heralds of the Celestial Master. Gods among men. The young preacher's eyes are alight with awe. The Emperor's angels. They have descended upon the land to smite down his enemies. You see respect in the old man's eye and fear. What would you say is the role of knowledge in the Imperium? There are no barriers to learning words of the Emperor and to conquering all that he has given to us. Have you read the manuscripts of our scribe Gregorius Fault? I hear he has left his craft behind now, but research shines with light of true worship. Knowledge depraves the soul, and does reading letters that are not meant to be read. The old priest furrows his brow at the young man in passionate words. Their judgments are like 2 sides of a single coin. Both is value, but neither one constitutes the whole. Oh boy. Where was the logic test here? It's not going to let me go that far up. I'm leaning towards the old man here. Because he was... It kind of gave you that hint of the overindulging in food. When he was really gaunt and the other guy was like really well built, and that's kind of hard to do on everything. Well, and he wasn't... The younger guy was showing more respect and all this stuff, despite the fact that, like... And he knew kind of more about what this world was doing. Where the old guy was like, hey, these are the actual things. So, it's weird. The old guy was right, but the younger guy was saying the things for this world. The old man grits his teeth and turns to the young priest. My blood may be foul than coal, but at least I've earned my robes. I mean, yes you have, sir. So there's frightened noblemen down here. So I thought there was going to be 4 imposters. So is this the last one down here?
I tread a path unexplored.
Oh no, it's right here. Man with scissors. Frightened nobleman. In the wavering torchlight, you see a glint of steel. One of the jacket-clad young men is pressing a blade against the other's ribs. A mask lies discarded at the attacker's feet. Noticing you, the trembling victim cries out, "Your Highness, save me." Do not interfere, outsider. This man deserves to be punished along with all of Thassera's rotten elite. They see people as things just to be worn. Let him look me in the eye and find out what it feels like to be cut to pieces. You realize that the weapon pressed against the victim's body is none other than a pair of expertly sharpened tailor's scissors. Solomorn casts an indifferent glance at the pair. Local folk and their strange amusements. They're not worth their time. Well, we can free the victim for now. You capture the scissors and deftly plunge them into the attacker's knee. Sensing his tormentor's grip weakening, the victim slips free and hides behind you. This madman bribed the guards so they would ignore my cries. I'm sure they'll be singing a different tune when they find out the Celestial Lord had to intervene personally. Tell me about Thassera's rotten elite. They're parasites. They tear whoever they want into pieces. They'll squeeze into a person's skin like a suit that's 2 sizes too small, splitting the seams in the process. The vigilante stares at you without blinking, his eyes glassy. Skin suits and splitting seams? Preposterous. Your brother was rewarded for his talents with the best assignment he could hope for. Maybe he just decided that he wanted nothing to do with you anymore. Your Celestial Highness, if such were your will, you could send your servants to the dressmaker this very moment and find your brother alive and well. His words are soaked in gray, with flashes of copper desperation breaking through. But the swampy muck of deceit, I see nothing. Okay, good call, Cassia. Tell me about the valet. It's very simple, your Celestial Highness. His younger brother has a way with clothes. I noticed him when I was looking for new servants, and I sent the boy to an apprentice under the renowned dressmaker in the upper quarters. I thought I would make him my valet, you see, but then this fool decided I took his brother not because of his talent, but because I use him for my rejuvenation. Why would I even need a new face? I haven't worn out my own yet. Yeah, place it on the vigilante. Play your game all you want, my mission will not change. Thank you for intervening, your Celestial Highness. The nobleman lays his hand on his heart and bows low to you. As soon as you step aside, the guards barrel towards the scene. Third imposter has been found. Last one should be hiding somewhere in the vicinity. Oh, he's hiding now. So I have to, actually find him? So can I talk to the cleric? There's goods over here. Just holy goods.
There is a fervor in my soul.
Kind of interesting that this is all around the planet, more or less. So this is the landing spot. I would have thought it was one of the knights or something like that. But if I were one of the people, I would have discarded the mask and gone back to being a lowborn just to win. But that would have been me. So we got the priests. Keep wanting to click the knights to see if one of them is it, but I think that's it. Oh, we got the nobleman, right?
Let's seize the opportunity.
Thasserian. Stall owner. And there's goods right here, so we might as well get them. Another for the Cybermastiff. Protective Instinct, 150% more damage. Whenever its protected ally dodges or parries an attack, the masticating 6 temporary wounds deals 4% more damage for 1 round. I don't really care about that. Athletics, let's get up here, let's get the book.
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
Chronicle of Fates, page 7875, chapter 0406. I'm impure, my body is impure, vital fluids, not my own, are stirring within me, as though wood-burning beetles were digging through my filthy tunnels through my frame. I must destroy this vice, I must squeeze it out. It is customary to replace an old vessel. I have replaced my rotten cage with chambers of gold, and yet I still feel filthy. The contents of spoilt are not merely a shell. What can be done to achieve redemption? My face is burning, a borrowed face, a weak face. I must take the fetters off my skin, cleanse its inner side, and take vice away. Oh, so he did the whole skin thing.
Nothing matters more.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
So we had Lord Xenos here, salivating profusely. The Laceraxes watch the food disappear into people's throats, judging by their protruding ribs. Beasts not been properly fed in some time. So we did that one.
Powers unseen.
Just looking for one more noble here. How about you nobles here? Cupbearer? Have a taste, if you please, my celestial lord. The vintage has been maturing ever since we laid the cornerstone of our citadel, and we tapped it to celebrate you. Do you always have amosec flowing from that fountain? By no means. Such frivolities excess would impede us from carrying out the burden to service the Emperor. It's only on truly great days, such as today, that the fountain pours forth this noble beverage. Besides, even the sturdiest of servants could not work with the pump for days on end. The pump. Naturally, my lord, it requires grueling labor of dozens of sturdy workers to create upward movement of the liquid in the pipes. It's a most useful contraption. Nah, I prefer to keep my mind clear. I dare not protest. Did you change your mind? At your service. Okay. Anyone back here? There's a bunch of knights. I don't think it's gonna be knights. But now it's a matter of, like, we've talked to practically everyone. Oh, who's Edika? Yeah, you. The noble woman's hair is disheveled, her bodice stained with grime, and her mask pushed clumsily on top of her head. Holding her skirt high, she is trying her hardest to fight her way through the guards blocking the door. Just please let me go, please, for throne's sake, she exclaims when the guards yet again push her aside. The woman notices you and attempts something resembling a curtsy, but stumbles, falls to her knees. I'm done. I just can't take it anymore. You're a celestial lord, aren't you? I am, but you don't look like much of a noble lady. I am Edrika, your graciousness. I'm not a noble, not one bit. I just do the laundry and bleach the linens. I've never mixed in with high society in my life. Just forgive a fool, your graciousness. According to the rules, I mean, why are you telling me this? According to the rules, you're meant to pose as noble to then get a reward. But I don't want no reward, my lord. I just want to go back home. The woman hangs her head and clutches the lace frills on her dress. Her breathing shudders as she's racked with silent sobs. Why are you trying to escape? I want to get away before they start putting those brands on us for the tricksters. I'm not any kind of trickster, can't you see? I couldn't fool a Grox. So why are you participating in the first place? It's not like they asked me nicely, your graciousness. They grabbed us, shoved me in the stress, they threw me in here. Nobody was asked, but I don't want to be anybody's toy. I have 3 boys and a girl. We starch our lords and ladies' undergarments. We work our fingers to the bones just to get enough scraps for the day. She shows calloused hands, molted red from chemical burns. So what should I do with you? Gripping the frills of her fabulous dress into her coarse, white-knuckled hands, the woman looks up at you. Please, your graciousness, by the God Emperor, just leave me. Nobody who gets put in one of these get-ups ever comes back. If I stay, I won't see my home again. I just know I haven't done anything wrong. Nobody ever comes back. What's that supposed to mean? Just that, your graciousness. It doesn't matter if you get branded or not. Once the hunt is over, you're gone. The place is like a Grox pit. There's no way back. I want to live. I want to be useful. Please let me go home. I'm wondering if I can put the brand on her and get the reward and then tell the governor to go stuff it. But we are essentially coding them as livestock. Haskell did note that. But they've already marked you as the thing. Like, they already said you were going to do this, so I already don't think that you're... Especially because I'm seen talking to you now, that you're going to get away. So, unfortunately, I'm going to put the brand on you. But then I'm going to try to tell the governor, this ends. All hope fades from the woman's glistening eyes. She wipes her nose with her sleeve and lets out a dejected sigh. Pardon me, your graciousness. You should done as you should. It wasn't right of me to spoil your game. It's not a game anymore. I'm going to do what we can. We're going to end this. You're going to go back to your family. Trust me on that. Hey, bud, we finished this. Down, Gara, bad beast, very bad. I apologize, your celestial highness. How is your imposter hunt going? I've concluded. People say they go missing after the imposter hunt. What's that about? Your celestial highness must have been listening to a lot of gossip. Who cares where the rabble go afterward? I, however, can assure you that the victors are often sent to my personal service. We call it the highest favor, and today it will be up to you to choose who will be bestowed upon. Okay. Awareness test succeeded. The governor is dragging out his word as if not entirely sure of himself, or he's not telling me something. Gara, is that your beast? My darling pet, she is guarding the shrimp irises. Every once in a while she gets an allowance in the form of Miacidae bones. Okay. So yeah, concluded the search. Delightful. I will immediately summon the court for a final celebration of hypocrisy. And who knows, perhaps today one of the imposters will be lucky enough to earn your favor. Straining to add note of gravity to his voice, the governor proclaims, most radiant ladies and noble lords, I hereby declare the imposter hunt officially over. The crowd responds with an uproarious cheers. The participants of our masquerade already stand before you. Did you guess correctly? Did you expose them all? Please don your oculars and have a good look. He turns to you and whispers, not one noble was permitted to hunt the imposters this time, my lord. Still, knowing their penchant for such games, I do suspect they tried to make their guess. Anyway, quietly among themselves. All these imposters have been found out by none other than our celestial guest. They're an unsurpassable show, your celestial highness. Bravo. May present our gift. Your celestial highness, an honored guest of Thassera, would you like to say a few words to our beautiful world? So first of all, we got a mask that gives +1 psi rating and +15 persuasion. If the Perils of the Warp is triggered and a demon is summoned, that demon attacks the closest non-demon target. So we can summon a demon by doing that, okay. Let's see, what can we say here? May you be each other's pillar of support. We shall achieve all we strive for. Sure. Hear, hear. And that was a great speech. Thank you. He sniffles loudly, dabbing his face with a handkerchief. And now, good lords and ladies, the time has come to make fateful decisions. There is not but one true reward, the highest favor, and that any branded imposter desires. Please, your celestial highness, your celestial highness, tell us, is there any among worthy of the rogue trader's favor? So what is the highest favor? That is correct. Is that part of the rules of the game? That is correct, your highness. Whoever you grant your favor will be showered with all manners of honors and go to serve in the governor's palace. So we're not going to have Adika go? Actually, we're not going to have anyone go to the palace. The hunt participants lower their heads, their eyes dimming. No one's going to the palace. You hear a vehement laughter coming from among the crowd and recognize Bluff's voice, as the square drowns a clamor applause of gawkers who are spectating the game. You look for the court fool but cannot spot him anywhere. Such is His Celestial Highness's brilliant decision, which for some may have been a fateful indeed. And finally, the hour you have all been waiting for, concluding part of our conclusion, the Great Feast. Laceraxes, dinner is served? Excuse me? The cyber Laceraxes lumens glow blood red before the condemned can even scream. The beasts pounce on the prey with hungry snarls. Excuse me? I tried to save them.
He tricks me! Gotta stop! I'm the master! Maeve, help! Maeve, I'm sorry.
Oh. He did something. The Jesters certainly did something. Alright, well, we're gonna kill zone these two with the front line.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Voice the command on Argenta.
For the serfs.
Air of authority on her.
If I may, do not dare.
And then bring it down.
Me,
Well, Solomorn?
Lord Captain.
So much for that tithe then, huh, buddy?
I'll do it.
Furious recital.
Faith without
Confident
deeds is
approach.
worthless.
Concentrated fire.
I refuse.
And then we're gonna burst fire these two.
As the Emperor commands.
And that kind of put a dent in one of the Laceraxes. Cassia, you can go over here for now.
Give me strength.
Argenta. What happens if you run over here and kick that one?
Be the fire in my heart. I'll do it.
It gets moved away, okay. So we're gonna move right here again.
As the
Concentrated fire. We got the versatility for kicking, so we're gonna burst these two again.
For the weak. This is why I was chosen.
I'm not sure why it got that extra action, but it did. We're gonna wildfire for the extra shot that doesn't lower our
I will not.
um
I'll do it.
ballistic skill and just hit the one in back.
This is not the end.
Well, that
Leave us.
I'm down.
That's an order.
Gara got me. Pascal. Can you have line of sight, don't you? I was gonna say, I have that. It looked like I didn't have a shot, so I was... Let's do the overheat now. Hitting Gara again. Then soaring to hit, or blinding shot, or blinding strike. We can then do obstruct vision,
Check familiar.
doing a little bit of extra damage. And then maybe do soaring? It wouldn't hit both of them, but we can still hit Gara. So Gara's bleeding for 16, it looks like. Good dodge on Argenta. Going for Solomorn, which is actually good in this case. Gonna have Glato apprehend
One of us would be
the one that's slightly more by Solomorn. Then bite him. Which looks like it didn't do much. Solomorn, can you move a little bit there, bud? Burn these two.
The orders.
That way, Glato goes off.
Escapes punishment.
Glato, why didn't you go off? Apprehend again then, buddy.
Our skills, Glato.
And then if I do
By your order.
this shot, I don't hit Argenta. Okay, that's what I needed to know. So we're going to do concentrated fire. So I do more damage.
Rejected.
And then just blast them.
Clear.
Abelard,
Follow my lead.
taunting scream at all of them.
At your beck and call.
Roll of rock create, defensive stance, endure, and hit the one in front of you.
Indeed.
Then put up. Oh, nope, you can't do that. Okay, Cassia.
I
Give Argenta a turn.
not a servitor.
As
Kick.
the Emperor commands, I act.
Uh-oh. We can do a run and gun.
Rejoice in battle!
And then we're just going to do a burst at these
As
three.
the Emperor commands.
And we're going to move
I'm not a
the kill zone right here.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
I'm going to switch to her gun here quick and hit what I can. And miss. Switch that back for now. And there you go, Solomorn. Whatever that's going to matter. We're going to concentrated fire.
Worthless.
And we're going to try to burst these guys again. We're going to do Firearm Mastery just to be able to hit these guys down. So Gara. Hit Gara again.
You, my Emperor!
Kind of surprised that they can do that like one last attack. What is that technically? Is that Beastal Rage? That might be... Once this creature's wounds drop below 5%, its maximum wounds immediately gains an extra turn, runs to its last attack, and attacks them during this extra turn. Creature ignores attacks of opportunity. Its agility, strength, and weapon skill are significantly increased. All negative effects are removed from it, and its wounds cannot be reduced below 0. After performing the final attack, it immediately dies. That is one hell of a thing.
Emperor commands, I...
Teamwork.
So if you don't hit it down to like 0 health, that's a thing. Governor's dead. What happened was no accident, and if my suspicions are correct. The Arbiter looks at his palm thoughtfully, then holds his hand out to his Cyber Mastiff. Palato, analyze. Yeah. It's something from, it's something from the, Jester there. The dog's visor shimmers as it scans his skin with a mesh of rays. Finally, there is a metallic click, and the descending hum of servo motors. The Proctor's augments respond with a softening buzz. a data brand. The court fool put it on me when he shook my hand. Then the Laceraxes attacked everyone who had been marked. However, the beasts were not at all eager to tear you apart, Rogue Trader. Yes, they were. They one-hit me. It appears you are wanted alive, but without my protection. Oh, God Emperor. Maeve presses her hand to her chest in the sign of the Aquila. Her lips whisper the prayer. Forgive me and protect his... Forgive and protect his soul. Forgive and protect. He mentioned being branded before he died. Can you scan him too? At his master's command, Glado directs his scan at the dead man's severed hand, which has somehow avoided being reduced to shreds along with the rest of the body. And it emits a warning signal. He was branded too. He couldn't have known, or else he would have not doomed himself like that. I assume this is likewise work of that buffoon. The only question is whether he was acting of his own accord at the behest of someone more important. He called your name before he died. I have no idea what's going on. I'm so confused. She stares at his mauled corpse with unblinking eyes. Is this a horrible nightmare? Could it be I'm just dreaming? For a second there, I thought, no, I'm sorry, it's impossible. I'm sorry, but you thought what? I thought it was my brother calling my name, but not Lord Ruolodo. But Dane wasn't there, meaning I had just imagined it in my fright. Oh. Then that wasn't the governor. It might have been Dane. And he had them switch. You think back to all those last moments. It's hard to tell for certain, but it really did seem as though his voice had changed. That it sounded younger and less strained. As if he had cast off a mask. So who's being considered the governor now? If only I knew, my celestial lord. If only I knew. Her eyes glistening are full of shock. So who are you praying for? My brothers, my lord. I had a feeling he wasn't acting as himself lately. If I had known he had fallen in with scoundrels, I would have found them and strangled them with my own hands. So what reason could your brother have wanted to get an arbiter's blood on his hands? It's a mystery to me too, my celestial lord. I think about it and I can't imagine why, but lately, he's not himself. It's like he's not himself. He keeps muttering these awful rhymes about blood and fate. And it's like he's waiting for something. I just can't understand what. Are you actually shocked, or is this part of an act as well? I swear by the Emperor himself, I'm unblemished before you in spirit and thought. That's what any cornered heretic would swear. Just try to save their life. But I really had nothing to do with it, my lord. All I was told to do was entertain our celestial guests and chaperone them to the castle for talks. And instead, there's just gore and death everywhere. I need to take a look around. As you wish. So they wanted me at the castle. This is Dane, her brother. Synth feed. If the wearer ends their turn with any adjacent familiar, that familiar regains 0 plus familiar's toughness wounds, and there's something for the servo skull. And then that's that. So I did not expect this world to be this big. So I will continue along this and then therefore Dargonus in the next episode, because this is getting really, really long and I have a feeling there's more to do here. A lot more to do. Or at least like going to the castle and fighting whatever is in Dane's body, because I have a feeling with the face switching stuff that they're doing, that the governor essentially took off what was covering his face, put it on Dane, and then took Dane's mask and kind of did that stuff. It's really backwards and stuff. I'm not sure how he had all the knowledge, but I have a feeling that this governor here was not the actual governor, if that makes sense. And that the jester was the governor, and that, yeah, they switched places because of how things work here. Which is a little creepy to think about, because unless they were like almost exact builds, they had to do some really creepy things to make that work. But maybe people just didn't notice. I don't know. But we'll continue with this next time, then go and do the rest of the quests that Dargonus gave us. and then go back to Dargonis to see what else is up there, because unless they keep giving us side quests, we can maybe go and finish Dargonis and go from there. So that'll be it for this time. Like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz, and otherwise, as always, I wish you all well. I will see you next time, and please have a good one.